What's going on, guys? We are back with another video working on the abandoned STI, and we last left off on pulling this motor. We had just got this motor out and just quickly gave it a quick vacuum, and it's still super crusty, but we're glad this thing's out now. Now this thing can be set aside and then be done last. That way we can actually get everything off this car and then get this car out of here and then focus on just putting this car together nicely. As you can see, everything's kind of just piled over here because my plan is to work on getting everything I can off of this car. Finally, I got it up on wheels so I can get underneath the car and really start just to tear everything out. I had to disconnect the headers from the up pipe because I don't know if you guys saw in the last video, but the 4 bolts holding the downpipe to the turbo on are just so rusty and rounded that I can't even get them off. So I ended up just taking off the lines, disconnect the up pipe from the headers, and just left the turbo there. But I do have to get that out today, so the plan is going to be disconnecting the cat back to the downpipe. That way I can just pull the whole turbo system right up through the engine bay. The quick plan, once this motor is getting torn down, is to paint it and look like this. Obviously, it's not going to be as nice as this motor, but I want to make this thing presentable again. And as you can see, this thing has just years of buildup and dirt. Definitely is not pretty, but I want to make it as pretty as I can make it. So my plan is to get as much as I can tore off this thing today. That way I can get this shell out of here. So as I'm doing that, I also wanted to show you guys what I had picked up. So I picked up a right-hand drive GD chassis portion of a car. I got the power, like the right-hand drive steering rack, all the reservoirs with it, the full interior, which is super sick. And one of my favorite parts about these JDM cars is the little card holder in the center, as well as your little cup holder. So that is one of my favorite things about these cars, as well as the 4th pedal being chrome. And my plan with this car is I'm going to find a crash wagon in the front, and I'm going to do a right-hand drive, tube front end, drift wagon, and it's going to be fucking sick. So that's going to be one of the projects after this car is completely done. And don't forget about this project. This project is on the bucket list too, but this project is going to be a long project. Now, I do have a car rotisserie right in the back right there that I do plan on putting this car on, completely flipping it upside down, totally taking everything off from the undercarriage and redoing the whole undercarriage, and then just making it so it's never going to rust, which it's going to take a lot of time, a lot of money, and I plan on doing just a ton of work to this car and making this thing really nice so it'll last forever. So I want to get back into this. I'm going to start taking off the exhaust system, get that out of the way, so that way I can start popping out the shifter, get the trans down, and then work on getting out most of the interior, and then slowly start swapping everything over to this car. We did end up getting a new fuel pump for this car, so we are going to be throwing that in and start throwing the interior in with the bulkhead harness. So honestly, while everything is out, I'm just going to plop that in real quick so we don't have to worry about that again. So yeah, as you guys can see though, the shop is messy. It's full, it's filling up. We have stuff stacked on top of cars. We have stuff just everywhere. So I really want to focus on just getting this car fully stripped with everything we want to get off it and get this thing out of here. That way we can actually free up a bunch of space to make this thing a lot enjoyable and easier to work on. So I'm gonna get right into it. So now that I'm getting underneath here, you guys can really kind of see how crusty this car is. I mean, it's pretty rough. Everywhere is just rust, leaky rear diff. We have holes in the frame right here on the rockers. We have holes on the rear leg right here, which is kind of hard to see without the light. Just super crusty. I'm really hoping that these Bremblas actually come off, because as you guys know, a lot of people that work on Subarus, especially old Subarus with Brembos, is the bolts like to break in the actual rotor or the calipers themselves. Mainly the front. I mean, the rear too. But we'll see. We'll see. So really getting underneath the car, you can see that this car actually has an old like Valvetronic kind of thing on the downpipe, which is cool, but it obviously is seized on there. You guys can really see how old and shitty this exhaust is. It's starting to get holes in it. It is just rattling around too, hitting the drive shaft and just hitting everything. So it'll be nice to get maybe something nice and new in here. At least definitely a new gasket so it's not leaking. Hopefully this flex pipe isn't leaking. We can smoke test that. So yeah, I'm gonna keep getting this out as it's gonna be fun. Pull it right out. But I think we can do it. Just gotta be careful of the wideband sensor. Look at that. Big ass turbo. Just like that, we have our whole turbo system off. And it looks like he has a parent downpipe as well as the parent headers, which is pretty sick. So maybe if you guys can see, now you can kind of see the bolts a lot better if it focuses. As you can see, the bolts are pretty crusty. All right, this thing's heavy. I'm gonna put it down. Now we can start to take apart some of the interior. That way dropping the trans will be a lot easier. And if you guys look here, I actually have a parts card home that I took a bunch of random bolts from the interior and exterior that were in good condition, like these nice zinc ones and just random 10, 12 mil, 14 mil bolts that I can use to put together that car properly and nicely. So those will definitely come in handy. I'm pretty much just going to start with taking out some of the simple things on the inside. The shift linkage is all going to stay connected. That way I don't have to mess with like the reverse lockout and stuff. That way I can kind of just pop it up just like that. Pop this whole thing out just like that. Yeah? Coming to hang out? Coming to hang out? Oh, yeah. It's a Subaru.
It's his friend's Subaru.
Yep.
And the frame's all rusted.
So you're fixing it for them?
No.
I'm putting everything from this car onto that white car.
You're making a video.
I am.
I'm staying out of it.
You can stay out of it. It's okay. You're not in it.
What's wrong with the car?
This frame's rusted.
Yeah, the whole car is really rusty.
So
you're trying to fix it.
Did you see I got the turbo out of the car?
I see the gas.
Yeah, it's behind the car right now.
I see the gas. I see the thing where you put the gas in.
Yeah?
Yeah, the gas tank. It's this big.
That's not gas.
Hi. I can't get in the car.
No, it's fine.
Hola,
I
amigo.
thought you said you didn't want to show your face.
Well, and he got it.
You
I
got
want
it.
to get him.
Gotcha. Leave it.
I'm putting
He's
it
trying to get the
there.
transmission out.
Oh, yeah. Eating all.
I'm surprised if it has no trans fluid.
Oh, it's got trans fluid. Nice
See
and,
how much.
nice and clean,
It
too.
looks like a solid.
Oh, let me get you guys over here. As you guys saw, my friends were here. And the trans fluid on this trans is really clean, which is a great sign. Just draining this trans so I can drop the print, so I can pull out the drive shaft, pull out the axles without making a mess. And then I can actually drop it. So I'm gonna let this drain. I'm gonna pop out axles, pop out drive shaft, and then take off the mounts, and then get this thing out of the car. drive shaft is out. Now we're gonna drop the trans. The trans bracket is all disconnected. Shift linkage is all disconnected in there. All we have to do is pull the wiring connectors apart and then take the slave off, and then we can lower the trans. Put that out of the way. All right, while holding on to it. Okay. Just like that. So we got the car dragged up a little bit, and we were able to just drag the trans right out. These STI transes are no joke, man. No joke. This place is filling up with parts, so I want to get the trans in this car. That way this big piece can kind of get out of here. And that way it'll kind of free up some space. That way we can start to take out some of the interior and then get the bulkhead out of this car. Then we can start to swap that over. Just because we know the bulkhead is 100% going over. The interior is 100% going over. I'm going to be holding off on the rear diff. And then obviously the drive shaft and then rear axles. I'm going to work on getting the STI trans in the car. So with that being said, I got to clean up all this over here now, put it all over here where I have no room, and then get the trans in and then move everything back, because we are running out of space, as you guys can see. So we have the trans in, I got the axles in, I got all this stuff buttoned up, I got the shifter in with the shift linkage all bolted up. So everything is up and working inside good. Was kind of a pain in the ass putting the STI trans in alone, but I mean, I got it. Did make a little bit of a mess, but I mean, what can you do? You know, when you're putting a trans in by yourself. But, so that's pretty much the whole front end that we need. Now we just gotta focus on the rear end, but it is getting late. I got stuff I gotta do, so this will probably be it for this video. Hopefully in the next, I'm gonna be actually getting the rear part of this on here. That way we can throw wheels on this car and put it on the ground. And then we can actually get the bulkhead harness in. And then we can deep clean this whole engine bay and the whole drivetrain and really make this look nice. So I'm super stoked to actually start to clean this thing up and actually piece this thing together so it starts to look like a car again. With that being said, it is now going to be the end of this video. So I'll actually see you guys in the next one. Peace.